Welcome to Radio Veritas Asia News. This is Shirly Benedictos, and these are the headlines this week. The Vatican announces that the 57th World Day of Peace will focus on artificial intelligence and peace. Young pilgrim miraculously regained her sight during World Youth Day. The Asian representative and other youth share lunch with Pope Francis at World Youth Day. Bethany Convent Sisters host mental health and displaced people's rights conferences in India. For our feature story for the month, a young Filipino's journey to World Youth Day 2023.
Radio Veritas Asia, the voice of Asian Christianity. Radio Veritas Asia mobile app offers services in English and 21 Asian languages. Download the Radio Veritas Asia app to get more videos from Radio Veritas Asia. Comment, like, and share.
The Vatican announces that the 57th World Day of Peace will focus on artificial intelligence and peace. The Dicastery for Promoting Integral Human Development announced on August 8 that the 57th World Day of Peace will focus on artificial intelligence and peace. The Dicastery stressed the importance of recognizing artificial intelligence's rapidly increasing impact on human life, politics, and the economy. Pope Francis calls for an open dialogue on the meaning of these new technologies endowed with disruptive possibilities and ambivalent effects, wrote the Dicastery. The Church celebrates World Day of Peace on January 1, the Solemnity of Mary, Mother of God. Pope St. Paul VI founded the event in 1967 to strengthen the Catholic Church's peace-making efforts. A young pilgrim claimed to have miraculously regained her sight during World Youth Day. A 16-year-old Spanish girl, Jimena, claimed to have regained her sight after 2.5 years of blurry vision during World Youth Day in Fatima. "I opened my eyes and I could see perfectly," said Jimena during her interview with the ACI Prensa, CNA's Spanish-language news partner. She said that after receiving communion at Mass in Fatima Shrine, where the Holy Father recited the Rosary, she fervently prayed to heal her visions. "After receiving communion, I began to cry a lot because it was the last day of the novena, and I wanted to be cured, and I had very much asked God to please cure me," she said. The Archbishop of Barcelona, Cardinal Juan Jose Omelia, called the possible miracle a grace from God while waiting for doctors to examine Jimena. "She could not see before, but now she does. Now the doctors will be able to say the rest, but she has gone home seeing. Well, she sees, blessed be God," the Cardinal said. Jimena and hundreds of thousands of others attended World Youth Day in Lisbon, which concluded on August 6. The Asian representative and other youth share lunch with Pope Francis at World Youth Day. Audrey Crisel Abatol from the Philippines was among the young people who had lunch with Pope Francis on August 4, 2023, during World Youth Day in Lisbon. Abatol, a native of Cebu in the central Philippines, described the meeting. "It came as a big surprise for me. Having lunch with the Pope had been a custom in the past years of the World Youth Day, where young people from several different nationalities were selected." Abatol reportedly asked the Pope for advice on how to be a devoted friend during lunch, and the Holy Father's response moved her. "I was touched by his answer. He said that joy is not taught but shown, and that's what I will bring back with me from this meeting." He also spoke about the joy of the gospel and the importance of acting in a way that inspires joy, she said. Abatol, who served as World Youth Day International Relations Secretariat and has been involved in World Youth Day preparation since November of last year, has attended 3 WYDs in Brazil, Poland, and Panama. Bethany Convent Sisters host mental health and displaced people's rights conferences in India. The Bethany Convent Sisters held a symposium to support the human rights and mental health of displaced people in Manipur, which is suffering from conflict and violence, on August 3. Over 100 internally displaced Manipuris, 10 Bethany Provincial Sisters, and 5 priests from diverse congregations gathered. Bethany Convent Superior Sister Preeti Margaret said, "We want to show solidarity with the suffering people of Manipur, especially those displaced present today at this event, and we also pray for you and eternal peace for those who were killed in the brutal violence." With support from donors, churches, and well-wishers, the team is still able to help displaced people here through all possible means by distributing aid in a variety of ways to more than 1,000 people nationwide, Sister Margaret told RVA News. More than 160 people were killed, 340 churches, schools, and residences were destroyed, and over 60,000 people remain in relief shelters across India due to the continuous unrest in Manipur. For our feature story for this month, a young Filipino's journey to World Youth Day 2023. Participating in the World Youth Day celebration may be simpler for some people. Others, however, need sacrifice and perseverance. This is the story of a young man who never abandons his faith despite the difficulties of attending World Youth Day. Neil Anthony Pagia, a youth minister from the Diocese of Malolos in the Philippines, was one of the numerous young Catholics who wished to attend World Youth Day despite facing numerous obstacles. Neil's first obstacle was acquiring the necessary funds for his trip. We all know how uneasy it is to raise such a huge amount of money to support this kind of delegation. We ended up doing 2 things. Parish Pastoral Council will raise money through solicitation, while members of our Commission on Youth will be doing fundraising activities, Neil said. A few weeks before his departure, he received a terrible update. His visa application had been denied. Luckily, less than a week before his departure, he was allowed to submit the requirements within 2 days. Every passing day is very crucial for us. We need to pass our application as early as possible so we can fly on our supposed flights. 2 days after the resubmission, we got the result. I passed, he said. Neil eventually flew to Lisbon to participate in a meaningful global encounter with his peers, thanks to the unwavering support of his parishioners and his unwavering faith. Our journey towards World Youth Day drained us in many aspects, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially, said Neil. But we are now in Lisbon, participating in it because we never give up our trust and hope to the Lord, the one who can move mountains no matter how things seem impossible. He added, "This experience allowed me to see God even in my loneliness and most vulnerable situations. I've been through a lot to get here, and still, God gave this thing to me. This is really for me, and I know I won't be forsaken by Him." Thanks for watching Radio Veritas Asia News. Download the Radio Veritas Asia app for more Asian Church news.